The Denver Broncos have to upgrade their backup quarterback position. What's up, guys? Welcome to Denver Broncos Syndicate, part of the Sports Syndicate family of channels where we are dedicated to bringing you content about our favorite sports teams. I am your host, Gage Madrid. Before we jump in, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are two free and easy ways that you can show your support. It helps tell the old YouTube algorithm to push us out to fellow members of Broncos country just like you and me. So the Denver Broncos have got to upgrade their backup quarterback position this offseason. For the past several seasons, the Broncos' primary backup quarterback has been Brett Rypien. Rypien has made 3 starts for the Denver Broncos across his career, and although he certainly does possess a high football IQ, when he actually takes the field, he struggles sometimes to make the throws necessary to be a quality backup in the NFL. In his career, he has completed 61.5% of his passes for 778 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and a QBR of 62.9. Although Brett Rypien is a good sounding board in your QB room, he's not exactly the guy you want to step in the event that your starting quarterback gets hurt. Unfortunately, in the past 2 seasons, Broncos starting quarterback Russell Wilson has been a bit injury prone. He's missed a total of 5 games over the past 2 seasons after previously going the first 10 years of his career without missing a single game. And as Broncos country well knows, when Russell Wilson was on the field last season, his play left plenty to be desired. So for all of these reasons, the Broncos are going to have to invest some significant resources to bring in a steady veteran backup quarterback. So the question becomes, who could that be? One name that has been thrown around as a possible trade target is Taysom Hill from the New Orleans Saints. That said, if we were to trade for Taysom Hill, he would be filling the same role that he filled in New Orleans here in Denver. He wouldn't just be a quarterback, he would be a wildcat quarterback who the Broncos would bring in on third down and short yardage situations, and he would also play a bit of special teams and play a bit of tight end and play a bit of running back, much like he did in New Orleans. He's very much a Swiss Army knife type player, so he's not exactly a backup quarterback because he will be someone who will be seeing the field on game day. The New Orleans Saints actually always had 3 quarterbacks active if you included Taysom Hill, because they did not want to have to take away Taysom Hill's role in the event their starting quarterback got hurt. So if the Broncos were to bring in Taysom Hill, it would not exactly be as the QB2 role. It would be the wildcat quarterback / QB3 / Swiss Army knife role that Taysom Hill has always filled. As far as other free agent backup quarterbacks who are out there, if the Broncos did not want to invest a bunch of resources into the backup quarterback position, but still have a quality player there behind Russ, there are some options that may potentially intrigue them. Those guys include Tyler Huntley from the Baltimore Ravens, who actually made the Pro Bowl this season as an alternate. Do with that what you will. I'd also throw in Gardner Minshew from the Philadelphia Eagles, along with Cooper Rush from the Dallas Cowboys. All 3 have played at various points this season and have played well when called upon. Those guys would not cost a ton of money, but they would still provide a quality backup quarterback option for the Denver Broncos. Another guy I forgot to mention who I'd throw into that list is Chase Daniel, who has made a lucrative career as a backup quarterback in the NFL. He's someone who played for Sean Payton previously in New Orleans, so that is another name that I'd keep an eye on in the cheap veteran quarterback category. So now moving up a tier, we have some quarterbacks who would be slightly more expensive financially, but would maybe be a stronger insurance policy should Russell Wilson either flop or get injured this season. Those players include Taylor Heinicke from the Washington Commanders, Mike White from the New York Jets, and Andy Dalton from the New Orleans Saints. Andy Dalton actually played pretty well for the Saints last year, so he may have priced himself out of the Broncos' range, but somebody like Mike White or Taylor Heinicke, who has proven that they could be an effective spot starter in the NFL, may be an intriguing option for Denver. Mike White obviously took over as the New York Jets starting quarterback for Zach Wilson, and he played pretty well in some games down the stretch for them. And then Taylor Heinicke, of course, has been the Washington Commanders off and on starter for the past couple of seasons. And again, he's displayed that he's been able to play pretty well when called upon. I don't know exactly if Taylor Heinicke is a full-time starter in the NFL, but he's definitely proven he is among the top tier backup quarterbacks in the league. In my opinion, there's only one guy on this list that would trump Taylor Heinicke, and that is Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett, of course, started most of the season for the Cleveland Browns while Deshaun Watson was suspended, and he played quite admirably. You could definitely say he even played better than Deshaun did after he got back from his suspension. So if the Broncos really feel like Russell Wilson may be a liability next season, then I would not be surprised if they took a hard look at Jacoby Brissett. He's someone who's proven to be a galvanizing leader in the locker room. Players love him at virtually every team that he has gone to. Everyone speaks so highly of him, from the Indianapolis Colts to the Miami Dolphins to the Cleveland Browns. Players love him, coaches love him. Jacoby Brissett is a great dude to have in the locker room, and he's proven that he can play really effectively, especially within the structure of a Shanahan-style offense. Obviously, Sean Payton has his own little flair to it, but he does run a lot of similar concepts to a Shanny-style offense, so Jacoby Brissett would be able to plug right in and, in my opinion, play really well in this Sean Payton offense. So those are some of my favorite options for the Broncos to upgrade their backup quarterback position. That's something that we desperately need to do. I certainly would not be opposed to bringing back Brett Rippon as QB3, or even possibly offering him a spot on the coaching staff. But again, I don't feel like Brett Rippon is going to cut it anymore as the Broncos' direct backup quarterback to Russell Wilson. We need to find somebody else who will be able to steer the ship a little bit better than Brett Rippon can. Alright guys, I'm curious. Who do you think the Broncos should consider as a potential veteran backup quarterback? Drop those comments down below. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. And while you're at it, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Gage Madrid NFL for even more Broncos coverage. And for now, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.